Hi there everybody, I'm Rosslyn. Welcome to Orkney, and on this fine Thursday evening I am going to do my first full playthrough of Shadows of Doom, a Stephen Thraves compact adventure game book. He has a whole bunch of them that have a whole set with different bits, and it's like a whole game set. These are not those. There are 4 of these. I think there's 4. There could be more that are really obscure, but I have 4. I only had this one when I was a kid, though. And didn't know there were more until this year when I started collecting game books. So I'll just tell you what it says a bit on the back, eh? It is an adventure game book that fits in your pocket with unique fold-out adventure cards. That's not a big whoop. It's got a map that I'm not going to look at because you have to pick that up to see it. There's whatever these 2 things are as well. There's 3 items you can collect. Easy to use compact scorecards, that is correct. I am not writing on my book, I've made a crappy version of it on a bit of scrap paper, as per my wont as a kid. It says it's perfect for travel. I bet it is, because it doesn't need dice or anything. It even says it does actually have, in fact I can show you, I don't even just have to tell you. A whole bunch of these at the front, so if you were a kid and you got this in, let me check when it was published, 1993, you could write on it and play it a whole bunch of times. It's really well made. Like say, written by Stephen Thraves. I'll say as well, the cover illustration here is by the outstanding Terry Oakes. I'm trying to look around because I do actually have a drawing of this I made that should actually just be kicking around here somewhere. I didn't think to set out. It usually is just sitting somewhere. The outstanding Terry Oakes, of course, did quite... I'm just going to look around while I hold this up and explain the art. Yeah, the outstanding Terry Oakes, he did a lot of the art for a whole bunch of the fighting fantasy books. I do not know where I have left my art kicking about. Well, hot diggity dang. Maybe I can find it and use it as the thumbnail for this video, eh? That'd be nice. It is just around here somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is. Kicking about somewhere, lol. Yes, though. Isn't it fine? You can see why I bothered to draw this particular illustration. Probably in the late 90s, I think that would have been. I did this. I should really try that again now, see if I can do better. Be embarrassing if I do worse than I did then, but I think I might do alright at it, hopefully. I don't have to show anyone if it sucks, right? Anyway, we get in the blurb now. You, a brave barbarian warrior, have received a desperate summons. The son and heir of Lord Pioneer has been kidnapped, and the ransom demanded is 6 jewels, each the size of a man's fist. But such jewels can only be found in the shadowy depths of the Volcano of Doom, a terrifying world where cruel and hideous monsters lurk. So you're just kind of a dumb lump of meat with a sword, kind of like Conan the Barbarian. You're a wee savage, a big savage of some kind, I gather. So it's pretty straightforward. Oh, is this him? Yeah, all illustrations it's saying. By the lovely Terry Oakes, or I should say the masterful Terry Oakes. Very, very, very cool. Absolutely love that. Picture of me! It must be! I love that. Anyway, without further ado, or a don't, let's see. Yeah, I should have a previous video where I explain the rule system. It's not needed. It's a pretty straightforward, basic rule system. And I'll say what I'm doing as I go through. So we'll crack straight on. It's got a section called Your Quest that explains that. And then, yep, straight on with the adventure. So, your quest. You, a young barbarian warrior, eager for your first adventure, have travelled over many a sea to answer the desperate plea of a friend of your late father's. He is lord of the kingdom of Taenir, and his own son has been kidnapped. Oh, welcome, lad. The distraught old man greets you as you arrive at his drafty castle. Oh, I ken your experience is little, but I hear that you have a' the heart and courage o' your father. So you seem my best hope. Oh, I'm no asking you to try and rescue my son, understand? He says wretchedly, for I ken no where he's held. It could be in a dungeon anywhere in this land, or even over the sea. All I ken is the ransom the cursed fiends have demanded. An inscribed arrow fae them said that if they didn't get that ransom, they'll cut my son's throat. It's 6 precious stones, each the size of a man's fist. Oh, what accent will I give to my young barbarian? He's meant to be from a different land, isn't he? Maybe I'll make him English. Jewels the size of a man's fist? You gasp. That's impossible, surely. Especially in a kingdom as impoverished as this. You silently reflect as your glance moves discreetly round the sparse castle. But the old man seems to catch your glance. Ah, but maybe it isn't impossible, he says, and by way of explanation he leads you up a twisting stone stairway to the lofty battlements. Do you see her there? He asks, pointing through the stormy sky to an eerie silhouette on the horizon. It's a dark, cone-shaped mountain. No, that's the volcano of Doom. About a day's ride for here. Now, it's long been extinct, but the infernos that once raged there are said to have given formation to many wondrous diamonds, rubies, and even emeralds. Surely, though, they would have been plundered by now, you ask, as you watch a fork of lightning flash round the distant volcano. Despite this bright flash, the conical shape remains black as coal. And here it is, doing exactly that. You can see in the picture, it's a stone turret. Is that the one we're stood on? Is that us? That's maybe not it then. Anyway, everything's looking a bit dark. Flash of lightning, not illuminating the whole area much. So, the old man shakes his head. Nobody'll go near it, he tells you, for it is also said that those infernos said they gave creation to hideous life forms. Grotesque monsters and fiends. He slowly turns his imploring eyes to you. That is why it isn't an easy task for me to ask you this. You want me to go into the volcano? You guess as you again peer at that far-off cone. It looks more forbidding than ever. But how do I enter it? You ask. Scaling steep sides like those will be virtually impossible. And even if I did manage to reach the top, what about the descent afterwards? Oh, come on, the volcano. The volcanoes inside will surely be even more sheer. Oh, there will only be a need to climb, the old man informs you. According to one of my foresters, there is a small cave at the base of the southeast face of the volcano. He is sure a series of tunnels lead from there, which eventually find their way right to the volcano's very core. So the means are there, son of my dear friend. All it needs is the courage. So that is the explanation of the quest. And now we're on with the adventure itself, but I'll have a wee drink first of my juice. I'm going to be blackcurrant squash today. Sugar free because I'm diabetic, there you go. Still quite nice. So, I can show you this bat too. It says you are ready to start your adventure. Let me get this lovely picture of a bat by all of the illustrations. I know I said just the cover because it said that on the back, but all of the illustrations are by the outstanding Terry Oakes. So it's saying you're now ready to start your quest. And this lovely bat wishes us good luck. It feels much longer than just 24 hours since you were standing on those windy battlements. You have ridden hard in those 24 hours, stopping only for a few hours' sleep. As a result, Doom is no longer a distant haze. It is now massive and soaring just a few miles ahead of you. Already, you're within the forest that circles the volcano's base, and you're soon approaching the steep black rock itself. Your horse repeatedly rears and snorts in fear, but you don't send it away until you find that small cave which supposedly provides a tunnel into the towering crag. You're suddenly inclined to follow your galloping horse, though, for tentatively entering this sinister cave, you find 3 human skeletons. The leather haversacks with them suggest that they too were fortune hunters, and you wonder whether you should investigate these for jewels, or would meddling amongst the bones be foolish? First choice already! Do I want to investigate these haversacks? I think I do. Spoiler. Or leave them undisturbed. Not much of a spoiler yet. No, let's have a look. Why have a wee rummage, see what we can fish up. It's the start of the adventure, and I think starting equipped is a good idea. Deciding no to be superstitious about the bones, you kneel over them to take a closer look at the leather haversacks. Each has a name stamped on it, these presumably being the names of their unfortunate owners. So, the large skeleton on the left must have been a man named Curvor, while the much slighter one in the middle, Roland, and the rather hunched one on the right, Drelon. You wonder which of the 3 haversacks you should examine, deciding it will be only the one. Since you found out the skeletons' names, those superstitions about touching them have started to return. That is fair. I feel the same. That's okay. Oh my days, we do get to take a little peek at my character, this time as a filler illustration. And that reminds me that we are a warrior. So I think out of the 3 of these, the large skeleton Curvor sounds like the best bet. Because we have a much slighter one in the middle. Roland could be like a magic user and I just get some shitty wand or something. And a hunched one, rather hunched, Drelon? Just nah, I don't know why. I don't know. I'm going with Curvor. Hopefully I'll get good warrior swag. So we're going to 89. You gradually prize Curvor's skeletal fingers. It's so creepy. I know. Don't judge me. I'm just prizing Curvor's skeletal fingers off his leather haversack. They're smooth, cold to touch, making you cringe. It is well boke. I know what I'm doing. It's not nice. I know. Don't be looting through corpses, people. It's not morally sound. Anyway, this is not hashtag life goals this guy's doing, okay? Anyway, as soon as I've snatched the bag away, you shake it over the ground to see if there are any of those massive jewels inside, because we need 6 too. It's not even that big of a book. I feel like we got to crack on with finding jewels here, you know? Anyway, you're to be disappointed. So there's a life lesson. Looking through corpses, not that profitable. They could be having anything on them, or nothing, or just like a rat, anything. Don't be rummaging on dead corpses. Anyway, so all it drops out. Oh no, is he the magic user? A crumbling roll of parchment? Okay. When you've opened out this parchment, however, you discover that it's a prize, perhaps almost equal to any jewel. It's a map! It's a detailed map of the inside of the volcano showing all its tunnels and caverns. This will surely be of great assistance in your exploration. Oh, I get to mark having the map, one of the 3 items. On the front flap, I can just use my adventure sheet as a bookmark. And so if you want to pause it and have a look, that's now an option if I can get it in focus properly there. Not have my stupid face annoying you too much. There we go. Is that good enough? I hope so. So we've got a map, and it does show everything. Let me have a wee look myself. So we've got caverns, whole bunch of those, tunnels, tunnel with pit. Oh, so there's lots of different branches with like 3 paths and 2 have a pit and stuff. Interesting. And like, yeah, see a little way from the bottom? That crap up the steps could be avoided by going the other way and stuff. Yeah, no, that's super, super useful. Oh well, I retract it. Maybe rummaging through corpses is very worth it, kids. I don't know, go and rummage through a corpse today. You don't know what you'll get. Maybe a cool map. I don't know. Go, I ain't the boss of you. You ain't here for me to tell you what to do. Need a map that badly? Go for it. Oh, just don't say I told you to. That's all. Oh. Let me off the hook now. Snitches get stitches. Anyway, so I got this map, circled it off, and go to 141. I shall. Oh, that's quite near the end. How many does this actually have? About 160 paragraphs we have. Or pieces, I should say. I don't know if some of these are more than one. So we're on 141. You can feel quite a draft, and you find that it is coming from a large hole at the very back of the cave. So it looks as if there is a tunnel leading into the depths of the volcano from here, after all. That's good. As you prepare to step inside this tunnel, you worry how you're going to see in there. But this doesn't prove any problem. Although the rock is now completely cold to the touch, it still has a strange reddish glow about it. Just bright enough to provide a gloomy illumination of the tunnel. The narrow tunnel penetrates deeper and deeper into the volcano. The glow of the dull rock creating sinister crimson and black shadows. The floor is damp, the roof drips eerily. At last the tunnel opens out into a large cavern. It's a cavern full of echoes, where every one of your footsteps, even the very lightest, is made to sound loud and lingering. There's a gigantic pit in the centre of this echoing cavern, and at the very bottom of this pit, part embedded in the rocky floor, you spot your very first jewel. It's a huge diamond. Ooh, the size not just of a man's fist, but of a man's fist in padded gauntlet. Would that count as multiple? Because diamonds are kind of swanky to begin with, and then it's like huge. Anyway, I want that, obviously. Anyway, it says that's not all in this massive pit, though. 3 sets of rough stone steps lead down to the bottom of it, all roughly equal intervals round the crater. Part of the way down each series of steps is a narrow ledge, and occupying each of these ledges is a hideous and terrifying monster. Since there's no way down to the diamond except by one of the 3 series of steps, it's clear that you're going to have to fight one of the monsters if you're to make that treasure yours. So you slowly and tentatively encircle the massive pit, trying to work out which creature would be the least difficult to slay. That's a good idea. Time spent on recon is never time wasted, and there is a life hack for you. So I'm trying to decide here, it seems. Is it this first one snarling up at you with grotesque quadruple head? Oh, that must be the picture. Fantastic. Get to see this picture of the 4-headed, swirly-faced, creepy monster. Well, I don't want to go near that. That's horrific. Or should I go on to the next series of steps? Oh, okay. I see how this is going. It says, for although this fiend's weapon is not particularly large, those 4 sets of fangs would surely give it 4 times the strength. I don't get to see which ones. Do I get to look at all of them and then pick? I don't know. I'm not going to fight it. That's the option. Do I want to fight it or avoid it? For now, at least. I mean, maybe I'll end up having to fight the last one, because I've not picked, but I don't know. Let's just... I don't want to do this one. So I'm on to the next one. What abomination is this? You wonder with horror when you've walked round to the top of the next steps. Peering down them towards that rocky ledge some 10 metres below, you see a half-human, half-snake creature writhing there. Its expression is almost humorous, but that only seems to make it all the more ghastly. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's clowning around here. It's not telling jokes, bruh. It's got a big sword. Ew! Imagine that slithering and moving too. Anyway, that's what it's saying. Okay, it says, and there's certainly nothing humorous about the gleaming scimitar it grasps. Nor those, oh, it's got claws too, nor those vicious claws, which seem to sprout from every twist of its snake-like body. While those muscular coils are for suffocating its victim, those claws are presumably for throttling him or her as well. So do I want to fight it or avoid it? Oh no, lead the cry. Avoid? What are we getting for 3 though? Do I get to go and pick? I don't. Okay. You now come to what is not necessarily the fiercest looking of those 3 creatures snarling up at you from the massive pit. Oh, certainly the slyest. I have a sneaky one for part 3. Its head is half bull, half wolf. And it's the wolf which is more dominant in the narrowed yellow eyes. Although the beast tries to clamber up towards you, it seems that it can't for some reason. And this appears to be the case with the other 2 creatures as well. They seem to be permanently stationed on those ledges. So you actually could quite easily leave this bull-like fiend behind you, preserving your strength and thereby giving yourself perhaps a better chance of completing your exploration. Here's a look at it. It is hideous. It's sneaky, it's tough, it's got a huge sword in its mouth. Yeah, it's reminding me my objective was to bring back as many treasures as possible. All of these look horrid. I'm going to fight this one. I'm being asked, I want to fight it, I want to avoid it. I think if I avoid it, my character's going to just clear off and not do this. I need that big ass gem, man. Paragraph 116. Don't fail me, man. This is a 1 strength monster, so it's not tough, I'd assume. I'm going to have to look back at the combat chart. It says commence combat with this monster by picking a code from the first round below. I'm going to hold this up so you can see what it's talking about. Please pause it, like say, because I can't hold this up for long. I'm sorry if you can't read. Does it have writing on the swords? Oh god, it does. I probably can't read that either, to be honest. Oh, it says first, second, third, fourth, and 5th round all the way down the swords here. And you can see we've got a bunch of codes. So it's saying, I pick a code from the first round below. Oh, cool. So we've got 4 options. 5, sorry. And they're random, it seems. I'm going to go C5. I'll write it down here. C5. So it says pick one, then look this up on the combat chart next to your scorecard. Oh, yeah. They have those. He has those here at the back. It's got little pictures. Some of them are me attacking the creature and vice versa, and a lot of them are just draw rounds. That's cool. Yeah. So if the... Oh, it's saying that. Cool. If the picture shows combat inconclusive, pick and then... Oh, right, if it's inconclusive, you look up the code for the second round. Oh, right, so you just really have 1 successful round. If you slay it, or if you're wounded. Right, 1 round unless it ties. Cool, so I picked C5 for first round, and I will look that up on my chart. I will put this in my book so I don't lose my place. C5 is me killing the Minotaur, or whatever it said. That's cool. Thank goodness for that. I would not want to be getting hit. I believe I had 5 life though. I think that's what the number under my little dude is. Anyway, I did slay it. That's good. A great start. You're so delighted to have slain the creature that you triumphantly tip its hideous carcass over the edge of this narrow plateau. As it crashes down to the very bottom of the pit, however, you suddenly have an anxious thought. That's where the diamond is. What if the heavy body comes to rest on top of it and you can't easily roll it off? Yeah, exactly. Dumbass. Don't do stupid things like this if you're a hero. It's like this guy's a barbarian. He's smart though. He ain't got no intelligence stat or nothing. Anyway. Fingers crossed, everybody. When you've scrambled down to the pit bottom yourself, however... Oh cool, you find that the creature is lying just to one side of the diamond. So you're now able to make that diamond yours, joyfully prizing it free of the rock in which is embedded with your sword. Only counts as one diamond. Oh well, I get to mark it off. One of the 6 jewels I get to mark off on my card's jewel column. And then I do believe it's the same paragraph as just sauntering off, so it's good that I did try and attack that guy. At the far side of this cavern of echoes, to its northwest... Should I be making a map here? I wasn't going to do that, but I might just... I have a map! We found a map! Hang on. So I don't have to. Okay, I'll show you that then. For I look at it, the Cavern of Echoes. Okay. Sweet. At the far side of this Cavern of Echoes, to its northwest, you find another tunnel. That is indeed what the map says. And then it says we is coming up to a trap on tunnels with pits. 2 of those. One that doesn't at the bottom is what I'm being told by the map. Let's read and see if that's what it's saying. You haven't followed the new tunnel far, however, when it splits into 3. There we go, there we go. We're getting some bullshit here. One branch, off to the left it'll be. One branch leading off to the left from where I was, going that way to the northwest. One to the right, and one forging straight ahead. You wonder which branch you should take. Although the tunnel wall still radiates some of that deep red glow, they're all rather darker than the tunnels you've travelled through up to now. I mean, if there's a pit down any of the branches, you might not see it until it's too late, so make sure your choice is a good one. Indeed, indeed. I have consulted the map, and I am not pissing about. I am going to the left, because that is... See there? The one that's not trapped. 71. Although the glow in this left tunnel becomes dimmer and dimmer, the shadows in the narrow twists darker and darker, your passage through it is without mishap. Not only are there no sudden gaping pits along the way, but there are no fiends obstructing your path either. But nor, unfortunately, do you come across any jewels sparkling amongst these shadows. It's a little bit boring. Let me just check. It doesn't have anything cool marked for the other paths. It's just pits, so... Anyway, it just says I'll just have to hope I have more luck further on in my journey through the volcano. I mean, I had a good start with that big jewel before, so it's alright. Didn't he get hurt? Didn't he fall down a pit? No monsters is good. Your branch of the tunnel now joins up with those other 2 again, and soon this combined, much wider tunnel leads towards a second cavern. Oh, the Cavern of Fire. It's got a path leading to the north, but that's all it really says. It branches out after that. So, a fierce glow reaches your eyes, and it's a glow that in some respects you're grateful for, because it helps light your path. But it also makes you anxious. What's causing this glow? 1,000 leaping flames. That's the cause. A whispering voice suddenly speaks behind you, making you start. You're about to enter the Cavern of Fire. Tell you, anyway. Whispery voice, giving us the scoop. Turning around, you see that the owner of the faint voice has a form that is equally faint. His body is barely more than a floating mist, but you can just make out what looks like a monk's habit there. I'm the Abbot Draylen. The ghost slowly speaks again. Many years back, I too set out to explore this volcano for its treasures. I had with me 2 companions. Roland, a young scholar, and Curvor, oh, the people we met before, a warrior adventurer, like yourself. And note that down. Roland was a scholar, and Curvor was a warrior. Oh, and this must be the third one, a monk, Treelin, of course. Yeah, that was the third one. Wasn't that the hunched guy? Oh, it's so sad. Anyway, he says, we entered from the opposite side of the volcano and eventually journeyed right through, past the core and towards where you came in. But we never quite made it through that exit. Because it's really close to the start, isn't it? That's so sad. He says, all 3 of us fell, as you saw, just a few meters short. The many abominations we had witnessed in these cursed depths had finally scared us all, quite literally, to death. Paragraph 153. Anyway, what's happened has happened. The abbot ghost continues impassively. It is your own quest, youth, that is my concern now. Each of our party kept a different record of our exploration, should we ever have a chance to retrace our steps. Curvor drew up a map of the web of tunnels. And Roland, the scholar, left cryptics. Just doing a wee note that it's Roland that had the cryptics and Curvor that had the maps. So Roland, the scholar, left cryptics wherever he went. My own contribution was to carve ciphers here and there throughout the volcano. I have within the folds of my habit the book that will make sense of these ciphers. But it's only yours if you can prove to me that you have intuition. Without that, your exploration will be sure to fail anyway. So prove your intuition to me, youth. Tell me why I was so desperate to have the volcano's treasures. The options are, I'm to guess from this, to buy food for the poor, to build a new abbey, or to pay for pilgrimage. 3 of them. A scholar, a warrior, a monk. It could be any of them though, couldn't it? I feel like it's already a journey. Paying for pilgrimage after that. I mean, I don't know. And the monk died. This is not just to... Surely it's not that. It must be something more desperate. The abbey? But would they make the monk go in... Is this a type of monk? Is he a battle monk? Or buy food for the poor? That sounds like the most desperate one. That sounds really, really like it could be nasty and nobody caring too. I think it's maybe to buy food for the poor. Was this a kindly expedition? No. To buy food for the poor was, alas, not my reason, the abbot ghost tells you gravely. It was a cause just as worthy, though. My motive for coming here was... But his faint voice becomes even fainter. His vague form becomes even more vague. And he suddenly starts to disappear. I think it was none of them between you and me, but I don't know why it was. Anyway, he's disappearing. A moment or two later he has completely vanished, and indeed you now wonder if he had ever actually been there, speaking to you. With the ghost gone, you now enter what he called the Cavern of Fire. Just as he said, it's a place full of flames, hundreds and hundreds of them, forcing their way up through the ground and flaring up some half-metre in height. Fortunately, there's a raised path of stepping stones weaving between the leaping flames. In fact, 3 paths. This is the route to the north which branches out. It says each takes a different route across the sweltering cavern. Well, I don't know if that's really what it says. I'll show you the thing. See here, we've got... This is kind of what's... Jeez Louise. Right, hang on a sec. Is this what we're talking about? We've got the Cavern of Fire, and then at the top there, I guess that still counts as part of it, because it says it's different routes across it. That's fine, though. We can see what it means. It's cool. So, the paths offer much more than just a way to the other side, though, for midway along each path is a particularly large stepping stone, almost a small plateau, and embedded in each of these is a massive ruby. But there's something else on each rocky plateau. A snarling and hideous monster, of course there is. Horrified, you let your eyes pass from one pathway to another. Let me see, there's no distinction. In fact, there is kind of... Hang on a second, let me show you this. If I go to the left, Luke, and that's a path right there, and it joins similarly to the middle one, going straight to the core cavern. The one to the right goes up these steps, and then we get this pit trap sitch with the 3 paths, which we can easily navigate. And then it joins the core cavern. We've got to get 6 of these things. I think we've got to go the pity route out here. Anyway, I won't skip ahead too much. We've got to see what's going on here. Horrified, you let your eyes pass from one pathway to another as you try to assess which creature, again, would be the least hazardous to fight. Maybe your safest option is not to take any pathway, but to walk right amongst the flames. No. You know that wouldn't give you any chance at all. You'd perish within seconds. So you force yourself to look at the first of the 3 creatures, the one midway along the path of stepping stones on the left. It's like an ape, but its head, and particularly its mouth, are much larger. Here this hideous thing is. It's got hair, gaping maw, fangs, huge sword. I think we're going to get worse, but still, let's have a look at all the monsters, The teeth are more like those of a lion, and there's also that sword to consider. A sword the manic-eyed fiend looks as if it can't wait to use. Oh, it's crazed. No. Do I want to fight it or avoid it? Let's take a peek at the next one. I don't think I want to... Okay, having moved to the start of the next path of stepping stones, you wonder whether you should go straight on to the one on the right, for this creature that guards this middle route through the flames seems to be almost a flame itself. Yeah, it looks worse than the first one, I'm going to say. Moving on fast, I was thinking, as soon as I seen this thing, it says, although it has a human hand and arm and deftly brandishes a razor-sharp sword, the main part of its snarling body appears to be just fire and smoke. Will the heat from this hideous monster allow you to get close enough to deliver a fatal blow? I mean, is it even possible? Look at this. It's basically a cloud with fangs and a sword. I don't know how to even parse that fucker. Right, anyway. It says, even if you get close enough to deliver a fatal blow, the book's even asking, like, could it even be fatal enough anyway? Against such a vaporous form? It says, well, the abomination be easier to slay than it looks, as it says, maybe just have to clonk it on the head with my sword, don't know. I'd rather avoid it, given the option, which is one, so... Is it foolish? Oh, fuck. I've moved along, it says, now you do move over to the path of stepping stones on the right. Seeing it, this is the one I wanted anyway, wasn't it? The one on the right had the loop. Okay. We see a much more solid creature there, we do. But look at this, look at this cunning thing, look at this, Jesus. It just looks horrific. I'll read out the text before I describe the picture to anyone who's not got the video running, just listening to it. Anyway, it says, "You're not sure, because I don't know. I'll let it narrate how I feel. You're not sure whether you're relieved by this or not. Certainly it's easier to judge what you're dealing with. That's all I hope for. I still wince at seeing this fiend. This one is rather ape-like in appearance too. It has the same staring, manic eyes more like a fish's than a mammal's. The most horrific thing about the creature, though, is its tongue. Oh, you'd even see the tongue in the picture. The tongue every so often lashes out grotesquely from behind the snarling teeth. Your stomach churning at this. You wonder if you should return to one of the other two paths across the cavern. Let me check my map, quickity dick. Yeah, the right one was the path I wanted, because it leads to the extra loop, and we need the jewels. I've only got one, and we are moving on fast through the map, I think. 6 is a lot to get. I'm gonna fight this creature. Fingers crossed, everybody. At least it's solid. It's a 3 strength monster. That sounds tough. Let me have a drinky ding. I've got to finish this episode soon too, because I know everybody probably doesn't have infinite patience for this. It's a long playthrough, so I'm going to snip this up into episodes. About 41.5 minutes left. Up to, I should say. Excuse me. Because I could do with a break, getting a dry throat. Maybe a few minutes more and I'll wrap it up. Make them 3/4 of an hour long. Is that too long though? Let me know in the comments, because some of the playthroughs are maybe a few hours long. I don't want to make it a million episodes. But I don't know. Do people have the patience for this? I don't know. I think this is a really fun playthrough. But is it? Let me know. I hope you're all enjoying this. This is a 3 strength monster. I'll try and do this and then wrap up. Hopefully I won't get killed. If that's the case, oh well then, you know what I mean though. Let's see. 3 sounds strong. So, commence combat by picking a code from the first round below. Let's say they are just codes, D1, J3, A5, B1, G5 we've got. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo, I don't know, G5. I will write that down to lock it in. Oh, it's a tie. Second round, J1H4, D2, J4H2. Oh, I don't know, mate. J4. Lock it in and look it up. J4. I'm being hit. I should really have shown you the thing, but here you go. You can look both of those up if you want, of course. But yeah, the first was a draw, and then I'm getting hit. It's going to happen sooner or later, and this is a tough monster, so... Yeah, okay. Hopefully I don't just die. It did, I think, say I had 5 strength open that set points. Anyway, you lie there desperate as the ruthless creature prepares to deal you another blow. But then it seems to decide on an even crueler fate for you, because its head turns sideways. Oh, not sideways, sideways! To the side, he means. Anyway, towards the flames which leap up round the plateau. But before it has a chance to roll you into them, you stagger off the plateau towards the second part of the path of stepping stones. For the moment, the creature seems tempted to follow, but then decides not to desert its treasure. Oh, it had treasure, it had swag we didn't get. Okay. Says, well, at least you've now reached the other side of the fiery cavern, but how much further will you be able to explore with this aching body? I have to delete the top number in my score's little person column. I have not taken any wounds, so we're indeed on... Is that... There we go, 4 health, which is not bad. Still think I'm doing well, even though I didn't get a jewel there, obviously, but... like I say, we're on the right-hand path, which leads to steps, and then 2 pit traps. On the right again is what we want. Right-hand path at the next bit. Only when I fall down a hole. Anyway, go to 53. And I'll wrap up at the start of the tunnel that leads out of the Cavern of Fire. It is well illuminated by the cavern's strong red glow. But, to see what happens along there, please tune in to episode 2, which I probably will be about to make now, because I'll just crack on with that, I think. This is great fun. Having a fab time. I hope you've enjoyed that. I certainly did. I'll show you this fantastic cover by Terry Oakes again. Absolutely beautiful. This was written in 1993, did it say? Let me look that up again. Yeah. Written by Stephen Thraves in 1993. Again, with just lovely art there by outstanding Terry Oakes. Both of these are talented people indeed, and I think this is just a fab collab. And one that a lot of people have never heard of. A lot of people have no idea this exists. So that's cool. I hope you've enjoyed that. Oh, you know what I can do, in fact? I'll have a look for my drawing and fish it out and show you it in part 2. So please join me in part 2 if you want to see that too. I've been Rosslyn. This has been a fun game book. You've been a lovely audience. This has been Ortney. Toodaloo.